Look at this. This is a gorgeous city. We find ourselves in Brisbane, Australia. Jaron is with me here from the PetaPixel crew. This is my first time here. And while I'm exploring Brisbane for the first time, I thought, why not try out this lens? This just arrived. This is the brand new Zeiss Otus 85mm f1.4 mirrorless lens. I previously reviewed the 50mm. There were some things I honestly didn't love about that lens, but now I've got the 85, so I want to see, is this any better? Is it the same? I'm Chris Niccolls. This is PetaPixel. This is Brisbane, Australia. But I want to give you guys a bit of backstory. Jaron and I are here in Australia because the good folks at CR Kennedy brought us out here for a really cool event. We got to be part of the launch event for the latest Ricoh GR space. It's only the fourth one they've ever opened, and they opened it here in Brisbane. CR Kennedy is a distributor of photographic gear, but also so much other stuff. They've been really kind to us. And as much as we appreciate getting to see Australia for the first time here with them, of course, it has nothing to do with the review that we're doing. So as always, our opinions are not changed in any way, shape, or form, but it's just an awesome opportunity. We're having a really good time. All right, let's get to handling. So we got lucky on our trip here to Brisbane. The jacaranda trees are in bloom, beautiful purple flowers, and Brisbane so far is a beautiful town, but very hot. You know, you got the Sunshine Coast north of here, you got the Gold Coast below, and it is a warm one. And walking around with this lens from a handling perspective, the first thing I'm going to notice is the weight. I mean, I've got this right now in Z mount, so I'm using it on Nikon Z8, which is already a fairly heavy camera, and this then adds another 1,060 grams, so just over half a knocked. And you definitely feel it as you're walking around. I mean, big part of that is Zeiss really like to have high-end build quality. So we've got metal barrels, there's not much plastic here. And you really notice it actually with the hood that comes with it. This is flock lined to prevent internal reflections. It's really nice. Got big metal barrel here, 77mm filter diameter. And we got a nice manual focus ring because just like the other Otus 50mm, this is a manual focus only lens. Now that being said, it does have full electric connectivity to the camera. So I'm getting focal length, I'm getting aperture, all that information is being transmitted properly, but I have to manually focus everything. The only other control I'm going to find on here is a really nice indexed aperture ring. And again, like all Zeiss products, it's built beautifully, it feels prestigious, and they are very well sealed. So I promised myself that coming to Australia, I was not going to mention spiders at all because it's so overdone. But then you see a whole bunch of spiders, you're like, well, maybe a good opportunity to test the close focusing on this lens. But this is not a lens that you want to close focus with. I mean, minimum distance is just under 1 meter. We're not getting any sort of macro capability. So it keeps me a nice safe distance away from scary spiders. That's the last thing I'm going to mention. No more spiders. I'm not going to mention snakes, spiders, none of that stuff. We're not talking any more about it. Okay, so we're here in the Ricoh GR space, and I'm joined by Zachary Ka, who's a Ricoh photographer, took some beautiful landscapes behind me, but he also has a fantastic face. So he's been very kind enough to agree to be my model here. And I've got the Westcott FJ200. I do love how portable this is. You can see it's very small. I can fit it in a small backpack. There's no problems transporting these batteries on airplanes in your carry-on. And I have a nice small softbox here just to switch Octa S. Position's good, just like that. Do I like my background? Very nice blue tones. Got your picture in the back. Okay, let's try a few here. And then I just have to get it in focus because it's manual focus, you know? Some of those. Perfect, yes. Oh, super moody, dude. I love it. I love it. But you should definitely check out Zach's work, Zachary_Ka on Instagram. You can find his stuff there. And if you are looking for a similar kit like this where you can just easily transport it, there's no cables, it's all wireless, definitely go to fjwestcott.com, click the link in the description below. That is why Westcott is PetaPixel's preferred lighting partner. Okay, time to talk about bokeh. We have an interesting arrangement here. We've got a 10-bladed aperture, fairly circular, and of course with an 85mm 1.4, we are looking at very shallow depth of field. So what does it look like here? Well, specular highlights are very clean, like no onion rings, very minimal soap bubble effect. We got a nice cat's eye effect at 1.4, and then when you stop the lens down there, it stays fairly circular. There's a little bit of a polygonal look there, but again, clean highlights. And so this lens is actually giving us beautiful bokeh, just like soft, dreamy backgrounds. And so I really appreciate that Zeiss has actually put the effort into making this fantastic for shallow depth of field shooting. So this gorgeous sunlight gives us a really nice opportunity to test flare. And I mean, we're using Zeiss T-Star coatings in this lens. I mean, this is world famous for decades, and they're doing a good job here. So even in an extreme situation, you can see shooting wide open, we're not getting too much of a washed out effect. I mean, still good contrast. A little bit of ghosting does appear though, but it's pretty well controlled. And actually when stopping the lens down heavily, I'm not finding that ghosting really getting obnoxious. So it's doing a good job. Good contrast still. I'd happily shoot towards bright light sources with this lens. Now I also want to talk about LoCA, longitudinal chromatic aberrations that cause color fringing in the foreground and background out of focus areas and are really hard to remove in post. And I want to talk about this specifically because when I tested the 50mm Otus, I had real issues with LoCA. I mean, there's quite a bit of it, and also chromatic aberration in general, like shooting any contrast against a bright sky, you get lots of funky colors. And I expected to see that in the 85, and I'm happy to report that actually doesn't happen here. It's really well controlled. So you can see LoCA is minimal. We don't really have a problem with it. I'm not having an issue with the chromatic aberrations either. And that's really nice to see because it was so disappointing on the 50mm. Okay, so let's talk about the manual focus experience using this lens, because of course that's all I got. So first off, Zeiss always make really nice metal helicoids. It's smooth, it's well damped. I mean, it turns really nicely. And it's got a really long throw. I mean, you gotta turn this lens like basically 360 to focus from its entire range. From a photography standpoint, that's actually really nice because I can precisely get focus without overshooting my subject. I can have the Z8 kind of give me focus confirmation, or I can punch in and focus, and I'm finding those tools really helpful, but I'm actually finding it very easy to quickly and accurately manually focus this lens. If I'm going to do cinematic work though, I will say the lens does breathe quite a bit. So as you can see here, lens breathing is where our field of view is changing as we focus from near to far and back again, and it's fairly dramatic. And because of that long throw, if you want to do a focus pull, you got to turn, turn, turn. But for photographic work, I'm actually really liking it. You know, it's a very strange thing. I'm just walking alongside the river here, and I've been in Brisbane only 2 days now, but I feel like it's really growing on me. It's just becoming like part of who I am. So yeah, I'm feeling like, I don't know, there's just some sort of change, and I'm gonna move here. I think I belong here. Whoa, wow, it's so hot, you know. I can see why they call it the Sunshine Coast. Anyways, let's take a little bit of time here and talk about sharpness. Jaron, do you want this in Aussie or do you want this in English?
Wait, they're both English.
Oh yeah, you're right, good point. Okay, well let's just do regular Chris voice. So, take a look at the Zeiss here, 85mm f1.4 test charts. Excellent details you can see here, really nice in the center. You know, the 50mm I found at f1.4 had a dreamy look, but this does not. Crisp, decent contrast. When you stop the lens down, you get a little bit of extra contrast, but it's pretty minor. The corners do have some vignetting when you're shooting wide open. I still like the detail there. And again, stopping down even just to f2.8 really cleans things up. So this is a fantastically sharp lens pretty much all the way through the aperture range. David, nice to meet you.
You too.
Yeah, we're gonna make your friend jealous, David. Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
This is Mark.
Nice to meet you, Mark. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Yeah.
My friend who I
Mark, get in here. Mark, get in here. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but I guess I'm nervous. Nice to meet you.
Very much. All right, good to meet you. Thanks, David. All right guys, so we had a fun day exploring Brisbane, but now we've decided at night to to come to an absolute madhouse. We're at Street Eats in Brisbane. I know it's very loud, but hopefully it looks very cool visually behind me. And we're gonna end our day here and our time with the Zeiss 85mm. So my overall experience with this lens is very much like how I remember the SLR version of these lenses being, and that is very well corrected optical designs, not relying on digital correction, but also just really beautiful bokeh, incredibly sharp, good flare resistance. But my experience here with this 85mm, I think you guys already can tell it's better than what I had with the 50mm, and this really reminds me of the Otus lenses of old in the SLR days, which is to say, heavy and expensive lenses, but with beautiful optical characteristics. I'm getting really nice bokeh here. I love the look of the out of focus areas with this lens. No chromatic aberrations, great flare control. And so yes, this is a manual focus experience, but I feel like I'm getting that optical precision that I was hoping for out of Zeiss. That doesn't necessarily mean it's worth it for the cost though. Because as much as I love using this lens, I still have to look at it from a practical standpoint. And the fact of the matter is, at this price, the competition is incredibly fierce. I mean, for example, let's just start with Nikon's Z mount. For the same price, actually slightly less money, I could get myself a Nikkor 85mm f1.2 S-series lens. That is gonna be less money, roughly the same size and weight, and it's gonna give me more light. And frankly, that is a beautiful lens as well. And then if you're looking at this for Sony E mount or L mount, I mean, then you've got the Sigma 85mm f1.4 Art. I've played with that lens and it's near perfect. I mean, I love using it. It's also like almost half the weight, like a third of the price roughly. Like that becomes really difficult to justify going to something like this. What I do like here is we are getting a fantastic lens with beautiful character and optical performance. And if this is your thing, if you want to have the manual focus experience, I would say, yeah, for sure, you're going to enjoy this lens, but you're paying way more for it. It's not nearly as practical. I think that the audience for this lens is going to be down to a select few, and hopefully our little adventure here helps you decide if this is the actual right optic for you. We've had a lovely time here in Brisbane, and there's more to come from Australia, so stay tuned. But I think we're gonna end it here now, so leave your comments below. Let us know what you think about this new Zeiss Otus 85mm 1.4. We always love the feedback. And check out the podcast, because we're gonna talk about this lens and a lot of other products and our sort of entire adventure that we had here in Australia. So you'll wanna check that out. And that's gonna be on the exact same channel, or you can listen to it on all your favorite podcasting apps. And we'd also really appreciate if you guys could consider supporting us with a PetaPixel.com membership. Cruise the website ads-free, access to our sample galleries, big discounts on our merch store at KEH.com, even get cash back at the Moment store. There's a lot of great benefits there, so do consider helping us out with that. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon with more on PetaPixel.